Peter, you've talked of 4 separate categories of risk inherent in the sale of a swap to an SME. The last of the risk you refer to is operational risk. What is operational risk?
Operational risk covers mainly 2 areas. First, systems risk, which includes computer errors, but also other errors, such as an office being flooded or a random HMRC inspection. Second, malicious effects, such as Nick Leeson taking silly bets with the bank's money and salesmen overselling.
We've heard about these risks from some of the swap salesmen who are now derivatives advisors.
Yes, when they talk about what their colleagues got up to, it was selling too big a swap, or too long a swap, or too complicated. Never about the other risks.
But we never heard about the other 3 risks.
You can read all about them in the bank's accounts for the year before they sold you the swap or TBL.
So what were the rules?
Well, the FCA isn't telling, but I understand from talking to the salesman, it was 2% for a 10-year swap and higher for longer terms. Life Assurance Commission used to make it work in the same way.
So an insurance salesman would sell you a whole life plan when what you wanted was short-term savings.
Exactly. Banks were playing the same game that dodgy life assurance companies got up to before commission was abolished. The difference is that, with life assurance, your loss was limited to your premiums.
So what did the banks know?
They knew the market was pricing in falls in interest rates. They knew they could lock into those lower future rates. They also knew that if they could lead a borrower into saying he was worried about interest rates rising, they could write that down as if it was his idea.
You make it sound as though it was all very carefully planned.
It was. The misleading approach, the get-out clauses, the quick hard sale followed by client abandonment, it was all planned.
And they all followed suit.
They had to. If one bank pushes cheap loans, everyone goes to them. So they all had to do it.
So if the FSA had dealt with this properly from the outset and stopped it, there wouldn't have been all this grief.
No comment.
You also mentioned pension mis-selling.
Yes, the Prudential started that. They were taking everyone else's business. So all the rest joined in the game.
And how long did the pension mis-selling take to sort out?
Over 6 years, and it cost £15 billion. This one has only just started.
Does the British voter fancy a Hunger Games 2 in the economy?
That's electoral risk, Jeremy.
Peter, you've made a very strong point that there were 4 risks inherent in the sale of swaps to SMEs, that the bankers were aware of these risks and the nature of the risks, and that the banks deliberately decided not to inform the SMEs to whom they were selling the product. And this surely is the reason why these products should never have been sold to SMEs, and why the redress that's appropriate is actually the tear-up of these products in their entirety. The risks were complicated, they were not explained, and if they had been properly explained, there is no SME that would have entered into these products.